You can call me Bloodhound.
What's going on, guys? My name is Shane, and today I'm going to be talking about something that I've been hearing about ever since I started playing Apex Legends. Now, I've only been playing for about a week, and while I've been practically no-lifing it, I'm not saying that I'm any good. However, I'm definitely way more interested in this game than I have been with any other Battle Royale game, so I've been putting some time into getting to know the lore and everything about it. Since I've started playing, the only character I've really been playing as is Bloodhound, known as the Technological Tracker. I played a little bit as Wraith and Bangalore, but Bloodhound suits my playstyle the most because of their passive, tactical, and ultimate abilities. If you're not familiar with those, basically Bloodhound can track down enemies and let teammates know if enemies had recently been in an area. Their ultimate lets you move faster and see in black and white, highlighting enemies in red and making them a lot easier to see. As someone who's not the best at first-person shooters, this definitely helps me a lot, as you can probably imagine. Anyway, you've probably read the title, so you know this video is about Bloodhound. Before I even downloaded the game, the media had already told me all about how Apex Legends has a gay character, which is Gibraltar, and a non-binary character, Bloodhound. I didn't really know anything about the lore at that point, so I kinda just believed that without questioning it. But now that I've spent some time with the game and getting to know the characters, I feel like the media may be spreading some misinformation. Because this is the internet, I know somebody's probably gonna get offended by this video, so I'm just gonna make a disclaimer. I'm in no way, shape, or form prejudiced against people who identify as non-binary. However, after exploring the Apex Legends lore and digging up any information I can find about Bloodhound, I've come to the conclusion that Bloodhound is not confirmed to be non-binary, but rather we simply don't know what gender Bloodhound is. Before attacking me, just listen to what else I have to say. First, let's take a look at Bloodhound's character description, which can be found on EA's website. What probably initially clued the media into the possibility that Bloodhound is non-binary is the fact that their bio refers to them by using only they/them pronouns. And because of that, I will be referring to Bloodhound in the same way in this video. It's kind of the same thing as when you see someone from afar and you can't tell what gender they are, so naturally you use they/them pronouns. And of course, I know that there are non-binary people out there, but the truth of the matter is that most of the time, people will assign a gender to strangers that they see, since there's really no way of telling if someone is non-binary or not. Therefore, the fact that we can't tell what gender Bloodhound is doesn't necessarily mean that they are non-binary. One of the first things said about them is that their identity is a mystery. We don't know their name, their age, their gender, or anything else about them other than the fact that they hold their own in battle. Let me make it known that nowhere in the official Bloodhound character description does it say that Bloodhound is non-binary. Like the description said, we know nothing about Bloodhound's identity, which means that we can't possibly know if they're non-binary or not. Their character is a mystery. So where's all this information about Bloodhound being non-binary coming from? Well, it may have all started with a rock, paper, shotgun article that interviews a community manager from Respawn named Jay Frechette. I'm not really sure how his last name is actually pronounced, so I apologize if I'm butchering it. Frechette supposedly confirms that yes, Bloodhound is non-binary, or at least non-specified in terms of gender. Now, the problem that I have with this is that non-binary and non-specified are not necessarily the same thing. In fact, isn't that kind of contradictory? If Bloodhound's gender is non-specified, then how can we know if they are non-binary, which is a specific gender? Non-binary is a gender identity in itself that someone identifies as, meaning that it's not the same thing as a gender that is non-specified. I think that either Frechette is not completely sure of the actual definition of non-binary, or he's attempting to appeal to the LGBTQ community by making Bloodhound's identity something that it's not. My theory is that Bloodhound was created with the intention being that their identity is unknown, but as soon as the media latched on to the they/them pronouns and began raving at the possibility of a non-binary character, Respawn may have realized the value in having a non-binary character, which results in confusing and contradictory information. Some of you might bring up the fact that Bloodhound is voiced by a woman, even though their voice in the game sounds relatively masculine. This is true, Allegra Clark voices Bloodhound, but that doesn't mean that that's what makes Bloodhound a specific gender. Women have voiced masculine characters before, such as with Timmy Turner and Jimmy Neutron, and men have voiced feminine characters before, such as with Tina Belcher. However, it is true that Clark outwardly says that Bloodhound is non-binary on her Twitter page. In response to someone complimenting their voice using he/him pronouns, Clark says, Their voice, Bloodhound is non-binary, uses they/them pronouns, but thank you, I'm so happy that people have enjoyed the performance. Bloodhound means so much to me. Now, my argument towards this is essentially the same as my argument towards the rock, paper, shotgun article. As stated by someone who replied to Clark's tweet, somebody who is unknown in terms of gender is not automatically non-binary. Just because Clark voices Bloodhound doesn't mean she gets to reveal any mystery behind them. The main point of Bloodhound's character is that their identity is unknown, so if people all of a sudden come out and say that they're non-binary just because their gender is unspecified, then the mystery is pretty much being ruined. So that's pretty much all I had to say for this video, and again, I want to emphasize the fact that I am not bashing non-binary people or anyone who thinks Bloodhound is non-binary in any way. All I'm saying is that we just don't know Bloodhound's gender, and if they are confirmed non-binary, then that contradicts that. I mean, for all we know, Bloodhound could actually identify as non-binary, but they could also be a man or a woman as well. That's what I like the most about the character, the fact that their identity is so mysterious. I'm not too happy about how Respawn is seemingly just saying Bloodhound is non-binary in order to push their own personal agenda and appease people in the LGBT community. Anyway, I'm interested to hear what you guys think. If you have more to add, please feel free to leave a comment down below. If you like this video and you want me to make more Apex Legends content, then go ahead and leave a like, and if you didn't like the video, that's totally fine, leave a dislike. But that's all from me today, so as always, thank you guys so much for watching.